mine, no male classmate of mine has ever thought that. And the words that come out of my mouth, they don't think of me, oh, look at her hair.
So can I ask you, do you feel that the way that these guys you speak of look at women, when they look at you, those thoughts don't come to their mind?
I feel that way. I feel respected.
And this is kind of what's meant by a protection, that you're protected from people who are looking for people like that.
I feel protected, yes. And I feel like every morning when I leave my house, I say Bismillah when I put my hijab on, and I think, this is something when I look at it, I think of Allah. When I feel different, when I feel eyes on me, when I'm out in public, I think of Allah. I think of God. It reminds me constantly that, when I feel those extra, degrees of temperature in the middle of the summer, I think, these people, they may, people might think that I'm very hot, but it's just another remembrance, another way to remember God, because
it just makes you stronger as well.
Exactly.
Closer to Islam. It makes you question your ability, like, are you actually a good Muslim or not? Like, each time I wear a hijab, I'm outside, I'm just like, am I doing the right thing? Am I closer? Am I just like, I don't know, it just makes me stronger.
And you don't want to do, it makes you not want to do it, because especially when you're driving or something, sometimes somebody cuts you off and you just want to yell, and then you think twice, you're like, well, if I do yell, then that's just going to perpetuate this myth of Muslims as being violent, angry people. I actually don't have, as a Muslim woman who covers herself and shows herself in public as a Muslim, I don't have the luxury of expressing the human emotion of anger in public. That's maybe one downside, but I'll live with it, because I just show people that, we have to have sabr.
So you make sure that your dawah to the people around you is your behavior.
Very much so. I mean, I've actually had encounters where one woman, I was at a meeting and she was sitting next to me and she said, why are you dressed like that? I bet some man told you to dress like that. And
but this is another issue. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. But do you think that most people understand, especially here in America, because you're an American, and you're living in America, you're free to live your life any way you want.
Exactly.
So do you think that the people really understand that you're accepting Islam for your own self?
I hope so. I mean, because my thing is, because Americans are extraordinarily polite people, and they will not come out and ask you something bluntly. So they will sooner go and try to figure it out themselves. In my experience, they'll sooner try to go out and figure it out themselves than ask me directly. And I would prefer that I'm asked directly, why are you covering your head, than somebody trying to look it up online or try to ask somebody, because otherwise I'll give them the direct answer. I'm doing it because of my faith, because of my religion, and because this is a free country. I have the right to do so, the constitutional right to do so, and nobody forced me. This was a free choice that I made as an individual, as an intellect. So I hope that people have the thought that maybe if I see this woman, she's dressed so differently than me, perhaps I should ask her, as opposed to let me ask the person next to me, because otherwise it's just blind leading the blindness.
But let me ask you also. Now everybody knows that Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world, fastest growing religion in America, and in America the fastest growing of men and women. More women are accepting Islam than men. And so, how would you explain it to someone who couldn't understand how so many American women are accepting Islam? Okay, especially in today's climate.
Right. Well, first I'll give you the wrong answer. Most people would think, oh, they're being brainwashed. In fact, that couldn't be further from the truth, because obviously if Islam is a misogynistic religion that oppresses women, then women would not turn to Islam. If Islam was oppressive to women, then women would not be removing themselves from their liberated, quote-unquote, existences and covering themselves if it was so oppressive. My feeling was that I was living the life of a regular, ordinary American for a very long time until I wore the hijab. So I know what it's like on both sides. And I know what it feels like on both sides. And it's as though you're stepping out of this incredibly stressful lifestyle and stepping into, a much more comfortable way of living.
This is a point that, alhamdulillah for Islam, that we are Muslims, and we feel a sense of, we say that Islam is a religion of peace, and we feel peace and security as being Muslims. But it's funny how just the exact opposite people look at Muslims.